Welcome to 1 to 7 Games. My name is Ryan Shelton and I'm excited to show you how to play some of the games I created. Dice Battle is a mechanic for a dice game. You can use a lot of themes for this. So I had thoughts of like these could be ships where you're trying to steal treasure, or pirates. It could be soldiers where they're trying to battle back and forth. It could be lots of different themes in there. So it's a really easy mechanic. The supplies are simple. It's a 2-player game. Each player needs 5 6-sided die. So slight mechanics. The basic idea is whichever player rolls a dice and has more hits earns and wins a die from the other side. So now you got to talk about what makes a hit. So it depends on how many dice you have. So this player, then this player, both have 5 dice. So that helps, 5 dice. That means you have to have a roll of 5 and higher. So you got to roll a 5 or a 6 to have a hit. If you get more dice, you stay at 5. You never go to 6, 7, 8, 9. Obviously, you wouldn't go above 6 anyway. But 5 and higher, rolls of 5 and 6 are hits. If you go down to 4 dice, 4, 5, and 6 are hits. If you go down to 3 dice, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are hits. If you go down to 2 dice, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are hits. So you start at the number of dice you have. And if you have 1 die, it's 1 through 6. It's an automatic hit. So that's kind of the basic setup of the game. So I'm just going to demonstrate play. So basically, each player rolls their die, and you pull out the hit. So again, there's 5 dice, so hits are 5 or 6. That player has 1 hit. This player has 3 hits, because again, 5 or 6 are hits. So this team wins a die. So since this player has 5 or more, only 5s or 6 hits. But you'll notice this player has 4 dice, so now 4, 5s, and 6 are hits. So again, they have 1 less die, but it's easier to make a hit. That's kind of how the game balances. And you just keep rolling dice. So again, what's funny, they rolled no 4, but they had 3 hits. They had 3 hits, 4, 5s, and 6. They tied, so you just roll again. Okay, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this, again, this one only needed a 4. It didn't have any. This needed a 5 or 6, but they got 3. So they take another die. Again, you don't increase. You always 5s and 6s is the worst it can get. So this team has to roll a 5 or a 6 to hit. This team now can roll a 3, 4, 5, or 6. And so you roll. So again, they got 2. They got 3. So they win more dice. Now again, these 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 can be a hit. It's pretty hard to win at this point because they got all these 5s. They win a dice. Now, this is an automatic hit because it's 1 through 6. So this team to win just needs more than 1 hit, but it's got to be 5 or 6. So again, they only had 2 hits, so they barely won. I like to do if there's 1 die, the tie would go to this person, they would win a die. So that team wins. So that's how you play the game. Since it's a short game, I'm just going to demonstrate one more time. Nothing much really changes, so you roll. They both have 5, so it's 5s and 6. Remember, these 4s are not hits because they have 5 dice. They have 3 5s. Again, this side just rolling better. Remember, when you have 5 dice, it's 5 and higher. So this team wins a die. So we roll again. Again, this tie never seems to roll what they need. So again, since they have 4 dice, it could be 4 or 5 or 6. But they've got 2 hits. They're going to get. So again, remember, the 4 is not a hit because they have 5 or more. But they do have 3 hits, so they win a dice again. So again, this team has 2 hits. Again, remember, the 4s don't count because they have more than 5 dice, so they have 2 hits. This player has 3 dice, so 3s do hit, but they still lose. Again, 2s are better, so they have 2 hits. They have 2 hits, so they tie. Now, I mentioned earlier with 1 die, they get the tie. I think, and I also do with 2 die, they get a tie, so they would win a die. So now this team is back to 3 and higher. So they only got 1 hit. And this team got no hits. Look, again, they have more than 5 dice, so it's 5 or 6. So this team would get a die. Now this team is still at 6, so it's 5 or 6 are hits. This team has 4, so it's 4 or higher. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. So now we're back to 5. Now we've evened it up again. Now they both need 5 or 6 to hits. 5 or 6. 1, 6. Oh, this side is finally making a comeback. Again, this side has hits are 4. So again, that wasn't a hit when he had 5 dice, but it is now. Because now they have 2 hits. This side only gets 5 or 6 because they have more than 5 dice, so they got no hits. So they win that die back. And so you just keep going. This is more of a normal game. Look at all those hits. They only have 1. So, yep. Again, they have 4, so this counts as a hit only because now it's a 4 and they have 4 dice. So they have 2 hits. They have to have 4s or 5s and 6s. Not 4s don't count, but they still have 1 more hit. 2 6s. They have a 6, a 5, and a 6. Again, 3 hits. The 4 doesn't count for this side, but that's still more. So now this side, oh, they only get 1 hit because that's the only roll. 1 is the only roll when you have 2 dice that doesn't count as a hit, but they do win a tie now. But again, they have 2 hits. This is an automatic hit. It doesn't matter when you have 1 die. But again, they would win ties with 1 or 2 dice, but again, I had plenty. So this side won again. And those are the basic mechanics for the 1 to 7 games battle dice. I'd love to see any themes or any rule changes you have. I played with more and less dice. You can do a lot of changes with this to make it a kind of fun and easy game. It's also a pretty good game with kids because all they have to do is keep track of those simple numbers. So you could do a game where 4 and above is always a hit, something like that to make it easier.